What in the world is going on, my people? How we doing? How we doing? That's not me, I swear. That's not me, I swear. That's my chat. That's my chat, guys. Holy hat. Holy hat, huh? How we doing, guys? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Nobody's here. Nobody's here. And you know what? That's okay. Tonight, I really wanted to get the Nuzlocke back on track, but tonight wasn't the night to do it. Hopefully some peeps come hang out while we shiny hunt, but you know what? There's nobody here right now to hear this, so I mean, let's just do it, right? Let's just get right. Let's just get right into it. The chat's got to go down a touch, yeah? Just a touch, just a touch, just a touch, right? Sliver is gone. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, let's do it. Let's start hunting. I would like a shiny tonight. You know how cool that would be? To finally have this happen. Listen, I know. Old school shiny hunting, man. It's just different. It's just different. That's the best way to put it. It's just it's a whole different world. It's like back in the day, this was like the greatest thing ever. I loved nothing more than just hanging out and hitting some buttons. It's unbelievable how much I used to enjoy this. And now, it's really making me consider doing it the other way. And I might just have to. But we'll see. We'll see. After this. It's going to be a nice week off this week. Like, I mean, man, come on. It's crazy. I used to stream what? Like, I used to have so many people watching. I've fallen off. Just shows that's all it takes is one fall off. Double docile? Crazy. So crazy. We're going to get the Nuzlocke back on track. Next week, I'm thinking, hopefully. Because that's where we went hard, boys. That the Nuzlocke were... Hey, Krebs. How's it going, man? Thanks for saving me from my own delirious thoughts. Tell me about your tournament, Krebs. I want to hear all about it. I want to hear every dirty detail. You said your team was bad. What happened, bro? You were so proud of your team before you, like last week. Last week you were breaking it down for us on here. I want to know what happened. It was fun. I'm glad you had fun. That's good. That's very good. The Landorus should have been Incineroar. And that's... Did you go... Listen, I assume this whole time that you went Lando I. Did you go Lando T? Or are you just saying that you shouldn't have gone with that and you should have gone with Intimidate? Because I just assumed that you went Lando I. But I don't know. What do I know? Here we go. Show it to us. Negative. It was Lando I. It should have been specifically in. Gotcha. Okay. Because I for a second there, I was like, bro, did you go Lando T? That's crazy. No, I get it. I get it, bro. Incineroar is just great, right? I mean, it's the most used VGC Pokemon of all time, right? It's the most winning. It's the most most winded. It is the Pokemon of all time. It is the Pokemon of all time. There we go. I got there. It took a little while, but I got there. Did you open your packs? Did you open your packs? That's what I want to know. Did those packs get ripped immediately or what? Dude, this hat needs a nice wash. Might be turning this bad boy around. Bro, should I go Skater Boy? Nope, this way. Hell yeah. Oh, mama. Now that's crazy. 2 of my losses were pretty preventable. I just didn't know my lines into Crest Trick Room well enough. Played against 4 Cresselia teams. The last question I asked was, did you rip those packs? It's crazy that Cresselia came back so hard, right? Because, like, Cresselia, last time we had this regulation, Cresselia, you saw, like, a tiny bit of usage, but, like, not much, right? Like, a tiny bit. It's crazy that it's this popular now, this time around. And when I say a tiny bit, I really mean a tiny bit. Like, it was barely, I barely saw it when I was practicing. Just every once in a while. And it never did that good, as far as I remember. But I watched a couple games. I watched the game where the 2 players were 5-0. Whatever point of the stream that was. That's the one set that I watched, and it was very good. It's not even that popular. I just said, wow. That's pretty crazy that it's not even that popular, and you hit it 4 times, dude. Sheesh. Yeah, you don't see that every day. You don't see that every day. I mean, I remember my first regionals, I ran into a Hydreigon, and when I played ladder, dude, I never saw a Hydreigon, and I lost to it. I wouldn't have lost to it if I kept Iron Hands on my team, though. So, that's fun. Man, I was saying something and I can't remember. You ripped 4? You get anything? You get anything? You get anything good? You get like a. I know what the line is now, of course. Well, yeah, that's how it works, right? That's how it works. Sometimes you just got to throw in that vibes-based matchmaking. You know what I'm saying? I wish my Urshifu was a different Terra type. You sent me a video. I did not see video. Bro, Discord, because I know all of our talking's on Discord. It's like the worst app for me to talk on. I have notifications disabled. And whenever I do enable the notifications, for some reason I don't get them. So it's just, yeah. It's like the worst possible app for me to use. I don't even know how to use it because I'm so dumb. I wanna get my shiny. I just want my shiny. Did you just send this video or did you send it a while ago? This is the one right here. I can feel it. Oh, good. We have the classic buffering. Ah, there is the video. That's crazy. As soon as you sent the video, my stream started buffering. Related? Probably. 1 minute ago. Oh, okay, yeah. I just got it right now. Oh, you sent a video of your pull. Ah, I see. Well, I'll have to check that out. Let's see. Can I look at it right now? Reverse wonder patch. Whooper. Woo! Woo! Okay, wait. How have I gotten here? Okay, we're fixed. All fixed up. There we go. Bang. Woo! The whoop. There it is, my man. Krebs, I've gotten all my binders completely redone. Well, okay, ignore the top. These ones, however, you can't even see them. They're so dark. Yikes. Okay, never mind. I ended up putting... You asked me what was going to go in that Charizard binder. Krebs, I don't plan things. I just buy binder because binder. But I've put my 151 set in there. That's what's in there. Do you want to see? I'll show you. Let's see what binder is what. First binder. Roll, chair. First card. I believe this is Pokemon Go, but I don't know because they're all the same binder. First binder. Pokemon Go. Look at that. We have all the... Oh, dude, the Radiance looks so good. Look at that. Oh, that's such a cool pattern. And then I got the Mewtwo and Conkeldurr. What's a better view? That's an all... No. Okay, light there. Oh, yes, kind of, maybe. Dude, the light's in the worst spot. I'm missing 2 of the cards I need for that page. And then I'm only missing 8 cards from this entire set. And those are 6 of the 8. Dude, the light's just horrible. And then I have the rest of the set. So that's my Pokemon Go binder. One of the most popular sets of all time. My 151 binder, on the other hand. Krebs, it's your favorite Pokemon on the front. Look at that. Oh, baby. It's a really nice binder, I gotta say. The Pokemon Center binders are some of my favorite binders that I've ever bought. And then this is my 151 set. Front page is goated. Look at that, dude. Got the SIR Charizard, Venusaur, Zapdos, Mew. This is the Metal Mew in the middle. And then these are gold stamped. They're super rare. And then I'm missing Blastoise and Alakazam. This one's not nearly as complete as Pokemon Go. Not even close. Yikes. The rest of the set, we're doing good. It's the big hitters. It's rough, man. It's a rough life out here. It's a rough life. I'm missing him. That was a much better roll than the last one. Okay, let's get back to this. Krebs saw the Charizard and dipped. He's like, I'm out of here. I'm not listening to this rascal talk about Charizard and Pokemon Go. What a guy, huh? What a guy. I was watching and listening. Wow. Krebs, I appreciate that. I can show you more. You want to see more? There's 4 more binders where that came from. Yeah, my 151 is it's crazy because I've opened 151 is probably like top 5 of amount of packs that I've opened from one set. Celebrations was another one. What else? Pokemon Go. Clearly, I opened a lot of Pokemon Go. As a Pokemon Go fan, I had to do it, you know? Bro, 8 cards. I can't believe I'm only 8 cards away. So I was going through, because I know you've asked this in the past, of like when you're going for a completed set, are you going for every single card, including the promos, including the stamped cards? And I've always said no, because I've always, like, that's a lot. And those cards are freaking, those stamped cards get expensive, and they're just a stamp, right? But for celebrations, I did a little bit of digging. And with celebrations, if you want a Grandmaster set, I'm only missing 5 cards. And I kind of think I have to do it. I kind of think I gotta do it. But the four of the 5 cards that I'm missing are from the World Championship decks. So it's not as easy. It's not as easy. Oh no, did I just say no to that top left game? Oh, what a silly goober. Willy. Krebs, do you want to hear a crazy story? Because I have a crazy story for you if you want to hear it. Oh, is it a Mew or Yveltal or something? I believe it is Kyogre, Mew, Yveltal. No. It's Kyogre, Flying Pikachu V, Flying Pikachu V Max, or it's the Surfing Pikachu, I don't know. And I don't know what the last one is. It's Kyogre, 2 of the Pikachus, and then I don't know what the last one is. I'm really not too sure. The Flying Pikachus. Okay, yeah, not the Surfing. And then the Kyogre, because I know Kyogre had just like the craziest deck. I played that deck for a while, actually, in my brief playing days of the TCG. I loved that Kyogre deck, dude. That was awesome. It might be Mew. It was in Guard. Probably. And so the crazy thing is, Krebs, is that in my so I call it collecting days. You would probably consider it my scalping days. I bought 1 of each of the World Championship decks, and it just so happens that those are the 4 World Championship decks that have the Celebrations cards in them. So I'm debating whether I want to rip the World Championship decks to get the cards, or if I want to just buy them individually. I don't consider you a scalper. Hey, there's a couple times you've mentioned it, and you know what? It's not completely wrong. Like, do I go out and buy a pallet of cards? No. Have I gone to Costco and bought 4 of the same box and put them all in a tote? Yes. So it's like, let's call it like scalper light. I remember the conversation. It was when you were like, "Oh yeah, I had to buy 4." Yeah. I mean, scalper light. How's that? And then you turned around and made them stock for your store. Yeah. Exactly. Scalper light. Right? That is scalping, straight up. Right? So. Bro, I'm so upset, Krebs. I know exactly what we're talking about. That was the 151 mini tins. Someone that opened those emailed me and said that they pulled a God pack out of one of those tins. A demigod pack. It was he got like when you get the Squirtle Wartortle Blastoise. He got Squirtle IR, Wartortle IR, and Blastoise SIR. Funnily enough, the ones that I'm missing. And you know what? He didn't send pictures or anything. He just emailed me and said, "Hey, I guess I just pulled this out of your packs." I don't know if that's true. I mean, whatever. Either way, I believe him. Why not believe him, right? Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. We just need... Bro, that's twice in a row that I clicked that button. Krebs, I think we're going to go back to Nuzlocke because, crazily enough, my audience has not been liking Pokopia or Shiny Hunting. I just don't know why. definitely not boring or anything. I get it. I get it. But we'll see. Life is doing things. Life is doing things. So I had this customer come in, and he like asked for a drink recommendation, and I gave it to him. But it was, you know what? There's a little more to that. He came into the store and said, "Oh, hi, you're Curtis," and then shook my hand, and I was like, "Yeah, that's me." It was really strange because like you don't just do that. I don't know. I didn't know who the hell this guy was. Whatever, it doesn't matter. And then he's like, what drink would you recommend? I'm like, oh, if you're looking for a lemonade, that's the one right there. Buy that one. He bought the drink. And then a couple days later, he messages me on Facebook Marketplace. Word's getting out that you give them the fix. It's true. Well, listen, the town, there's 700 people that live here. Everybody knows everybody. It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. Either way, he messaged me on Facebook Marketplace looking to buy some of my Pokemon cards. And I was like, oh, yeah, cool. And he like said, like, oh, thanks for the drink recommendation. I really liked it. Blah, 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 whatever. And then he's like, send me pictures of cards that you have. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. And he asked for Gen 1, 2, or 3. Those are the 3 gens that he played. And I like sent him pictures like, okay, yeah, I really like these couple cards. But I need to wait till next week to get money. I was like, it's a little weird. Like, you're buying Pokemon cards when you don't got money, but okay, you know, you do you, man. Everybody needs their fix. And then he's like, a couple days later, he messaged me again. He's like, hey, you know, are you open to trade? Like, I'm looking to get rid of a whole bunch of electronics. I have games. I have this. I have this. I have movies. I have DVDs. I'm like, yeah, sure, man. Like, I'll see what you got. And she sends me like so many pictures of so many different things, of all these different electronics, and nothing that I wanted. And then he sends me like paragraphs of like, he's like, oh yeah, you play the Switch, send me your Switch code and we can play on there together, we can be friends. And he's asking for my Xbox code or my Xbox name, and I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to sell Pokemon cards, can you please leave me alone? And then I ignored his message, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna ignore this for now, and I'll answer it later. And then he messages me, and he's like, hey Curtis, I know we don't really know each other, so this might be a weird question. And I was like, oh god, here we go. And he's like, do you think that I could pawn you one of my games for like $60, and then in a couple days I'll buy it back from you for $70 as like a thank you for holding this for me? I'm like, no, I have not answered that message. I haven't. If I showed you the wall of text that's just his, bro, it's like scroll, all just him. Like, I need to be careful. But at the same time, it's hard because there's 700 people in this town, and he knows a good amount of them, and he knows where I work. And it's just, this is the one thing about this small town that's starting to get a little weird, is that people are weird. You know what it reminded me a lot of? It reminded me a lot of like the parasocial relationships that happen when you stream, but with Facebook Messenger and coming in to buy something from me from the store. Like, it was like, it's almost like, you know, like customer service, you got to put on your customer service voice. It's like that was the start of the parasocial relationship, because I treated him like I would treat any other customer, which is like, hey, you're the king that just walked into my store, and I'm going to do whatever I can to sell you something because that's my job. And he took that as like, oh, we're best friends now. That's what it felt like. Like, because you, like, if you read, I'm not gonna put the messages out there, but if you read the messages, then that's the vibe, that like the way he was talking was like we were friends, and I didn't like that. I don't like that one bit. But I will say, pretty crazy. In like the good, that's one crazy story. But in the good side, Krebs, in case you want to hear some news from me, this store is going way better than I thought. Like this, so the company that I'm working for, it's like a startup. Okay, so the guy already owned 2 stores. And he's just been running with that for quite a while now. And he's also a landlord, so he owns his own building, blah, blah, blah. But it's kind of seems like he wanted to finally start doing something with his money. So he opened up the store here, and then he's opening up another store. And then after he opens up that store, he's opening up another store. So there's, long story short, there's like 5 stores that he's opening, basically all at the same time. Mind-boggling. And I've been hearing some rumors that they're very happy with my work. So I'm curious to see how far I can like weasel my way in. It's shiny season. We'll see, Josh. We'll see. I weasel my way in's the completely wrong way to put it. That's just a joke. But like, I just see so much potential happening in front of my eyes that it's like, I wonder how far I could ride this by doing a good job. You know what I'm saying? So like at the end of every week, because the store here is so new, at the end of every week, I send like a report email, and like I put my blood, sweat, and tears into that report email just to like, she's just a little ass rubbing. I'm curious. It's very interesting. It's very interesting to see. The only thing I don't like is that the biggest store that he's going to be opening, that I would probably have the most potential in going to, is where I used to live and where I grew up and where I spent 25 years of my life. 26 years of my life. The town that I had to leave because I didn't like anymore. And that's probably where I'd have the most potential. I don't want to go back there, but Emily really likes the idea, just because that's where all of my family is, and my sister just had a baby, and she's getting freaking, bro. You show a woman a baby, and baby. So there's that. I don't know if I could handle moving again though, man. Oh my goodness. There might be, so here's one crazy thing, is that there might be an opportunity that if I do go there, oh, I know on that baby. Krebs, you are too young. Don't do it. You are way too young. If I had to give my old man 2 cents, the things you want to get out of the way first, before you consider it. I'm just speaking from pure... Oh, we both know that? That's good. That's good. I'm still dropping my experience bomb, okay? My old man experience bomb and things that I wish that I did differently. Things I wish I did differently. Here, let's put it that way, because that's better. Number 1, both get a very solid base, whether it's a good job, whether it's a good school, whether it's, yeah, a good job or good schooling. Number 2, pay off all of your individual debt. So in my case, what I pay off all my debt, like whether it's my car, whether it's my, I don't know, whatever. And then for Emily, it was her schooling, right? Because I had a good job, Emily had good schooling, but that's where we stopped. We should have paid off of our debts first, then bought a house, and then we would be good to go. But because we didn't do the debt part first, now we're kind of in this weird place where we have house bills to pay, but we also have other bills to pay. So we kind of, so it's hard because your money is going to 2 different big places at once. So it makes the life part harder because you can't be like, oh, I just want to go buy this, because things are very expensive right now, as I'm sure you know. And then, because once you kind of get to that point and everything's paid off, and because it's easier to pay off one bill at a time than it is to pay off like 5, then it's like baby time. Then it's like, let's consider this. And I wish that's where one thing I wish I did things differently is just, oh, and then the one thing is that Emily and I got married. I don't want to say too early, but like we got married. What we were like, we shouldn't have, right? Like we both had debts. And we didn't have an established life. We were taking care of my freaking grandparents. We were the most busy people in the world. So like getting married was almost, not a negative, but it was like it put on so much extra stress that didn't need to be there. Like you gotta, for me, I wish I had built the foundation and then grew the pillar. Is that a good way to put it? Sorry, I'm going off on a total tangent. I just like to use my wisdom when I can because it's weird that I can give wisdom now. But things are kind of turning around, especially if I can work my bag off for this guy and then potentially grow with him. That would be friggin' sweet, dude. That'd be so cool. Yeah, yeah. Exactly, Josh. Exactly. That's right. Or I built the foundation with cushions. The foundation is full of cracks because I tried just jamming them all together. I tried doing everything at once, so the foundation didn't harden properly. My spineless roommate with no independent thinking power just got engaged. They've been together 6 months. Well, it won't last. It's okay. Because they're going to realize, because a lot of people like that, they end up just being engaged forever, like for a very long time, right? That's usually what happens there. But who knows, right? Obviously, it could totally be different. Yeah, independent thinking's hard. I never got that. Oh, good. We're airing again. That's fantastic. Oh, we're nicknaming everything. That's fun. Squirtle, you better be shiny with that letter A as your name. Yeah, 6 months is wild, bro. That's a cool part. They said they're going to try for a kid. Oh, good. Oh, good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, Krebs, I had a friend that got engaged just because... So, my friend, a white boy, got engaged to his Indian girlfriend just because he wanted to prove that he was serious. And then he ended up going to jail, so... Josh is going to love that story. Josh knows who I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. That's right. And that's scary, right? Like I have one friend that I will not say his name, who is like severely whipped. Severely. And it's so hard to watch. And you can see, I plead the fifth, and you can see just like him slowly spiraling. And no matter what you tell him, just doesn't listen to reason because it's really hard. It's really hard to watch. And it gets to a point where like, it's hard talking to that friend because you're watching him just spiral his whole life. And then he starts fighting with people about IVs. But that's not important. I shouldn't have said that. Zip that one. Bro, one day someone's going to dig this up and they're going to be like, oh, I can't believe he said that about him. But it's true. And Krebs, that's why I sent you those messages, because like I'm watching all this happen, dude, and it's just like it's so hard to see someone spiral like that. Let's talk about more positive things. Yeah, how's that sound? So, Champions. Bro, we're getting closer and closer to Champions. It's coming out in April. Champions is coming out in April. That's just crazy. No names were dropped, so technically it can be anybody. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Low-key kind of predicted that when you started. Yeah, that's right. Me and I actually, they even started making Champions. What are you talking about? Champions is coming out in April. That was they gave a release date. Not a well, okay. They didn't give a date, but they said April. They said Champions coming out in April. And I cannot wait to transition over to Champions, because I think that's the one thing. I think that's the thing I thrive on with streaming, is like a challenge, right? I think that the best streams that we had were like when I was learning a new Nuzlocke. Like when we started Fire Red, that was so much fun. When we started Emerald, that was so much fun. When we started doing when we started doing Deathless Emerald, dude, oh, that was so good. But then at a certain point, I knew the whole friggin' first half of the game like the back of my hand at a certain point, and I was like, it's fun, but like it's just I just know this now. And I think that Champions, what's happening here? Oh, that's why. I think that Champions is going to be like a revitalization. Pokopia not see, and that's the thing, right? Like I am having a friggin' blast playing Pokopia. An absolute blast. It's so much fun, and it's scratching the itches that my brain needs. It's scratching them all. But like it's no way to actually stream. You know what I mean? Like it's really fun, Josh, for like you, me, and Alex just to kick back and just chat while I play the game for hours on end. I will say that's been a blast. But like for an entertaining stream, it's not the way to go, unfortunately. And I think Champions is going to completely turn that around. I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong. But oh yeah, I was saying earlier, if I do end up moving back to my old town, I can stay with family, and I can actually set up some sort of... Did I say that? There's no way I said that. What? Did I say... Or did I say that in... Wait, what? I can set up like a tiny little streaming setup at one of my family members' houses. So even when I'm on the road working, I can still stream. And that part's very exciting because my MacBook can't do emulation great, but my MacBook, it can frickin' stream just fine. He was in your way, dude. Krebs, if you are still here listening, which I believe you are, my last Pokopia stream, I friggin' rage quit, dude. I actually rage quit and turned the game off. Pokopia. I rage quit Pokopia, bro. And you know what? Josh actually kind of agreed with me. So it makes me feel a little better. He said, you know what? Yes, this is crazy. That was not the funnest thing ever. I was ready to break everything. Why? So I'll try to hit all of the details, but I'm definitely going to be missing some. Genuinely not your streaming game. No, it's not. It's not. I need something to keep my brain thinking all of the time. So I'll try to hit all the points, okay? But basically, I was trying to build a pen for Pokemon, right? I was trying to make like a fenced off area that had a door, blah, 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 blah. It ran underneath the waterfall in Withered Wastelands to give you like a visual, okay? So the waterfall in Withered Wastelands, the first waterfall where you get Squirtle, I was building a Pokemon pen with that directly in the middle. I broke down some of the wall behind it so that I could build the fence underneath to make it kind of interesting. And where I wanted to build the fence wall, my original hut that I made, the original hut, the first hut that you make, I put it in a spot. And all of a sudden, it's in the way. It was in the way of this pen. And I was like, oh, okay, you know what? I'm going to leave it for now, and I'll come back and fix this later. Yeah, see, Josh agrees, man. So I come back later to get rid of this hut, and the game says something along the lines of, you're in the process of moving. And I was like, what? Like, I'm like, oh, that must mean that there's furniture in this house, so I have to take the furniture out before I can move it. So I go inside, I take all the furniture out, and it still says, you're still in the process of moving. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, oh, it's because maybe I need to what was it? Sorry, I just got a text that distracted me. And I was like, oh, it must be the Ditto flag on top of the house. Maybe I need to set up a new home before I destroy my old home. So I take down the Ditto flag and I go to a different house. Well, it's not registering the new house to be my house. No matter where I put the Ditto flag down, it does not say this is your new home. It just keeps saying this is a house and nobody lives here. And I'm like getting angry. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm putting the Ditto flag here. This is my house. So we spent half an hour trying to make a house our house. I finally figure out it's because you have to put the Ditto flag on top of the house. When it's a pre-built home, you have to put it on top of the house. When it's a house that you make, you can put it anywhere. So we finally do it. And I go back to my old house and it says, you are in the process of moving houses. And I was like, what is happening? I just spent half an hour doing this and that's not. So I finally just go and Google it. I'm like, I'm going to Google it. And there's only one answer I can find. Like, I typed in the exact sentence. I had the exact sentence that it needed, or that it kept giving me. I typed it into Google. I only found one answer. And the one person that's had this issue, they said, oh, it's because in your inventory, you already have one house being moved. So all you have to do is place that house down, and then you're good to start the next one. So I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. You can only have one moved house at once. That explains it. So I grab that house and I go put it down somewhere else. I collect all of the things I need. I collect all the Pokemon I need. And I'm like, yes, that's it, Josh. We've done it. And I go back to my old house. I go to remove it. You are in the process. And I was like, nope, I'm done. That's it. And I quit the game. Dude, it was the most frustrated I've been in a video game in a long time. Because like it's just, no matter what I did, it just kept saying the same thing. And I tried everything I could possibly think of. Now looking back on it, I'm pretty sure that I probably have to build that other house and then I can come back. But brother, at that point, I was just so unimpressed. I was so mad. Even Josh agreed. He was like, what is happening? This is ridiculous. Why is this not working? It must be that I have to build that other house first and then I can tear down this one. That's the only thing I can think of. It's literally, I can't think of anything else. Not a single other thing. Yep. So that was fun. Oh, Mamma mia, why do I have a headache again? What's happening? Sounds like you initiated a very specific criteria event to prevent the move. Dude. Exactly, Krebs. That's exactly what happened. And like all of in the moment, right? Like we'd already been streaming at that point. It's not even that we'd already been streaming for like 3 hours. It was the fact that I was completely finishing my Withered Wastelands. Like I was doing a huge update starting from Tangrowth's Cave all the way to the Pokemon Center. Like I was doing this big, massive update. And like we were doing so many detailed things. Like we built a pond. We spent like an hour building a tiny little pond in the corner. And I sent it to Wumbo, all right? In the video, I say they put the repo kit on first, then removed the flag and placed it on another house. The repo kit on it first, then remove the flag and place it on another house. That you watched the video? Is that what? And then like when I got to that one, yeah, it was looking nice, dude. It was looking so good. And then I got to this one specific part and it just stalled everything. And I was so frustrated because I wanted to get to the Pokemon Center and we were getting so close, and the game and like every single criteria that I could think of, right? Moving my house, moving the Ditto flag, and then not knowing how to put the Ditto flag on the house properly because it has to go on the roof and not in the house. Like it was like every single thing that I'd tried just kept. How did that one game get so far behind? Oh, I'm holding the wrong controller. That's why. That's so silly. And nope. Yeah, dude, that was heartbreaking. It was genuinely heartbreaking. And I have not turned Pokopia back on since then. Don't get me wrong. I friggin' love that game. It's one of the... honestly, it might be one of the best Switch Pokemon games that we've gotten so far. But you know what? I actually think a lot of people agree with that, which is a crazy thing to say. It's because it's so different. Crabs! Also, I had a thought today, because there's one thing I said during our talk about Pokemon games, okay? And I said Legends ZA just does not feel... Seriously? Seriously? Why does it always happen? The camera. One of the things I said was Legends ZA is not a Pokemon game. It's not what a Pokemon game is. And you said, well, it literally is a Pokemon game. And to that, I had no answer. But you know what? I've been thinking about it. I'm thinking about it a lot. You know what a Pokemon game is to me? To me, right? To me. I should have my camera on for this because we're about to have a heart-to-heart. To me, a Pokemon game, because this is what it was growing up. A Pokemon game was a game that was made with love. It was a game that you could tell every single detail mattered to the developers. Like, sure, they had glitches, sure, they had this and this and this. They were games that were made with love. No. Emerald. Bro, Emerald, Diamond, Pearl. I know you're joking. Emerald, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Black and White, dude. Even Black and White. They were all made with love, and you could tell every single detail mattered. Like, you could go talk to these random... Like, let's talk about the big city in Pokemon Black and White, right? Like, you're walking through this massive city, and every NPC walking by you is having like their own conversation because they're all busy city people. Or like the just random buildings you can go into, and you go up like 5 stories of building, and every single person you find in that building all has their own little small detailed dialogue. And then you get to ZA, and it's like there's no love in ZA. You know that they just pumped out that game because they wanted money. And that, to me, is where Pokemon games became not Pokemon games anymore. They became... There's like Pokemon games with love, and then there's Pokemon games just to make money. And those are, to me, like, that's where it changed. And ZA was the first one that I truly felt that, like, this is not a Pokemon game. It was not made how Pokemon is supposed to be made. Is it a literal Pokemon game? Of course it is. But it's not a game that I can't be invested. How can you be okay, here. We talked a little bit about the last battle in ZA and how, like, I thought it was absolutely ridiculous that they built this giant, massive scaffolding tower for you to get to the final boss. And it's like, I can't be invested in this game because that's just such a ridiculous concept. Like, we're literally saving the city from a rampaging tower that's about to just kill everybody. It's like, oh yeah, but we're gonna build this big scaffolding thing, and you're gonna have to do this little parkour course to get there. It's like it takes you out of the immersion. It loses the immersion when things like that happen. Black and White had the most pure love put into it. And that's the thing, Krebs. To me, a Pokemon game is a game made with pure love, and they're making it for the people that love Pokemon. And they just, like, you can feel it. Like Arceus. Arceus is a great example where it's like ZA, right? Like, it plays a lot like ZA. But you can tell that they're like this. You can tell that in that office space, they're like, guys, we are trying something new. This is the first time in so long that we're going to get to try something new. This is open world Pokemon. This is going to be so cool. Like, did they meet the expectations? No, because the expectations at that point were Breath of the Wild. Like, you are building Pokemon's Breath of the Wild. It did not hit the expectations, but you know what? You could feel in the game that it's like, this is something new, and this is something that they really cared about making. But then you get to Diamond and Pearl, right? Diamond and Pearl, I think, is in a weird place for me, because was it built with love? Absolutely not. Was it a game that I played as a kid that was built with love? Yes. So for me, it was like, I enjoy this game, but they could have done so much more. But I enjoyed playing the game because it's playing the, you know, Scarlet and Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield, I felt like they when they were making it, they cared. I think that they just didn't have the time that they needed to do it. Scarlet and Violet, I felt like they cared. They just, you know. Legends EA, I literally felt like they just were like, guys, we're doing the same thing again. Let's just pump this out. You know, like, Pokemon has always been insanely behind graphic-wise, by the way, compared to other Game Boy games I've played. Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire Red, Leaf Green look really bad. Same for DS. And that's the thing, right? It's like, and that's part of what made Pokemon so unique, is that it was like it was always its own thing. Would you say it's a different level in intentionality, and the remakes had a nostalgia factor from games that were... So Josh, here's the thing with Diamond Pearl remakes, is that the Pokemon company just hired another company to make them. And the understanding out there, which I have no idea if this is real, the understanding out there is that Pokemon gave them like a really stupid timeline and said, make these games. And then they had to put them out and they were not ready to be put out. But that could be totally wrong. And Krebs, yeah, like I think that's kind of what made Pokemon so unique, is that it didn't have to be the best looking game, because the characters in the game and the story was, in my opinion, always very good. And like the characters, BDSC was my no love game, and that's totally understandable. I think the only reason why I like BDSP is because I got to replay Diamond Pearl. And I think that's the only reason why I actually enjoyed playing those games. I just got to play those games again, and it wasn't on a DS. It was on a new system. I could play it on my TV. Like it was more, right? It was more. But anybody that doesn't like BDSP, I understand. I totally understand. Sword and Shield, Krebs, using your example of games that didn't look great, when I played Sword and Shield, it's really funny to me when people bring up the games having a story or not, because it completely depends on if they personally like the story. No. I mean a good story, right? Like a good story, like the Legend ZA story. Like to me, have no red, blue, yellow have no story. See now, here's the thing with that, right? Like I didn't grow up with those games. I will not defend those games. Like it was literally, I'm trying to redefine game made with love. Care. They cared. Personally, Krebs, I don't think you can really bag on those games though, right? Because those were made, what, 25, 30 years ago now, right? You just wander forward and stumble into trouble. Yeah. But those games, like I'm not going to defend those games, but you know, like, can you really go back and rip apart a 30-year-old game that was the first of the franchise? I don't think so. Are they the greatest games ever made? Abso-freaking-lutely not. Gold, Silver, Crystal had a little more intention, 100%, right? So I assume that you know the story, but just in case you don't, or just in case anybody doesn't, I'll explain what my understanding is that they made Red, Blue, Yellow, right? And then they went, oh, this was actually pretty cool. Let's make another. And dude, Black and White story is insane. It's insane. That was peak Pokemon, right? Gold, Silver, Crystal, they're like, hey guys, like we hit magic here with Pokemon. Let's do it again and let's wrap up the game. And that's why Gold, Silver, Crystal follows a little bit of the same story, right? They bring back Team Rocket and they kind of continue on from the very little story they had, and they kind of try to wrap it up. They and I think they did a great job, right? Like they wrapped it up. And then they went, holy crap, guys, this game sold extremely well. Let's keep this going. And they kept them going from there. Right? That's how that happened? I'm pretty sure that's how that happened. I don't know where I was going with that, if I'm being completely honest. I had something in my brain. But yeah, dude, Black and White story is insane. I personally really liked Diamond, Pearl, Platinum's story. I thought those were very good. I really liked how like the Lake Trio. I really liked how they treated the Lake Trio of like, these are Pokemon that unlock the key, and they went and like tried to capture them all. Like they were like this mystical creature that nobody had ever seen before. Everybody just kept glimpses of them, and then yeah. But people hated it because they restricted it to only new Pokemon, and the Gen 1ers ruined public perception for a while, and now we'll never get that sort of game again because they were not rewarded. You know what? And that's super true. I know, so like, this is actually a funny story that super connects to your point that you just made. I listened to this hockey podcast. I used to, I don't really anymore, but for like 5 years, I listened to this hockey podcast. And every once in a while, by the way, these guys are like probably 30, they're like they're probably pushing 40 now, getting pretty close anyway. They talked about, one of them always talks about playing Pokemon when he was a kid. Not always, but like every once in a while, like maybe like a couple times a year, he talks about how Pokemon, he played it when he was a kid and it was so good. He talks about the anime, blah, blah, whatever. But every once in a while he says, and then they released the new games. And you know what? That was just ridiculous. And now, you know, Pokemon to me, it's just the 150. Anything past that, they're not real, they're made up, they're fake. Doesn't exist. That's what he would say every time. And if one person's feeling that way, I guarantee you there's a whole lot more people feeling that way. And that's why they have to always kind of bring it back to Gen 1, right? Is because there are those people in the world. And it definitely does. Like, I can see from your point, if you didn't grow up with those Pokemon, that I can see how that would bug you. You know, for me, like, my original starting Pokemon were Blastoise, Charizard, and Squirtle. Not because I played Red, Blue, Yellow, but because I played Fire, Red, Leaf, Green. So, like, these are the Pokemon that I first ever... So, like, when I see a Charizard pop up, I'm like, ah, cool, a Charizard. You know? It's also what else in the gaming scene they have to compete with. Like, now with all the games out there, there's so much variety. If you try to cater to everyone, you don't make the game for anyone. Yeah. That's one of the... I think that's one of, like, the biggest arguments that are out there. A lot of Gen 5 Mons are analogs Gen 1, by the way. Dude. If you Krebs, I actually have a video on my... Is it my old channel? It might have been my... Yeah, it was my old channel. I have a video where I actually compared those Pokemon. Gen 1 versus Gen 5. Because that's Gen 5... I actually just saw a video the other day. It was titled When Pokemon Tried to Reboot the Franchise. That's literally the title of the video, and it had a picture of Gen 1, it had a picture of Gen 5. Because that's what, like, Zubat versus Woobat. Like, it's just Roggenrola versus Geodude. Like, it's just, they're Audino Chansey, Conkeldurr Machamp, like, you name it. You can go down the friggin' list, dude. Every Pokemon, they just one-to-one basically match each other. I watched the movie and TV show years before I played the games. And see, that I was opposite. I was games first. Like, I watched the anime here and there, but I was main games and cards. Cards were my biggest thing, brother. Audino and Chansey. I swear I said that right. I said that right. Did I say that? Bouffalant and Tauros. Yep, Bouffalant and Tauros. I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but dude, 100%. Like, they're almost matching. They're basically matching. I want to pull up a list and look now, but I'm not going to. Keep it going, Krebs. Keep it going for the chat, Krebs. I need to watch that video now, the one that I just referenced, because it's an interesting concept, and it's just true, right? Like, they are the same. Yeah, I mean, you can loosely compare Emolga and Pikachu, right? Loosely. But there's a Pikachu clone in every game, so not really. Klinklang and Magnemite, right? Krebs, I swear I said Audino and Chansey. Oh, sorry, I thought you were saying no to that. Yes, bedtime, understandable. I feel you, bro. I feel that. Good night, Krebs. Good night, Krebs. Hey, Krebs, do you know there's a hockey player who's named Krebs? I believe it's Peyton Krebs. Fun fact. I was listening to a podcast today, and they were talking about him, and I was like, oh, yeah, that guy exists. Oh, yeah, I should tell Krebs about that. Fun fact. Fun fact. Are you really going? Are you leaving? Are you leaving? Right here, right now? I have some Ascended Heroes to open up. I'm excited. I'll get to open it tomorrow. Can't wait. Can't wait to open up some Ascended Heroes. I haven't got a single pack of Ascended Heroes yet. Not a one. Any pokey caught? Still no shiny, brother. Still no shiny. How you doing, Alex? You having a good night tonight? What do you think about the hockey scene currently? Brother, it's a joke. But not really. But it's also kind of crazy what's happening. There's a lot showing in the NHL right now. There's a whole lot showing in the NHL right now. Did you try the RNG stuff? No, not yet. But last night I got to the Eevee, so I can start practicing. The only problem is, oh yes, and we have not touched on this yet, my people. I am going away tomorrow, so I will not be here to stream for the rest of the week. So this is like a one and done. Kind of rough, not gonna lie. But bathroom renovations are happening in 2 weeks. So tomorrow we're going to town to pick up a boatload of bathroom stuff. What's up with hockey? A couple things. So, boo-hoo. Man, what's happening with hockey? I mean, how much time you got? So, let's talk about this first, okay? So, there's a department in the NHL called the Department of Player Safety. Pretty straightforward, if you ask me. What do you guys think? I'm gonna ask you guys in chat. What do you guys think the Department of Player Safety? What do you think their job is? Let me spell it out for you. The Department of Player Safety. What do you think their job is? I'm just going to drop that. I'm going to wait for the messages to roll in. I'll just wait. Just wait, and we'll see. We'll see what you guys say. I'm curious. That's how we're starting this conversation, by the way. Focus on the safety of players. Wow. You think so? People not die or something? So, yeah, I mean, their job is to keep players safe by, when they see an incident in a hockey game, they're the people that say, wow, you did something wrong. We need to suspend you this many games because what you did was this wrong, and you're going to get suspended for this many games because what you did could really have hurt another player. So, a couple of weeks ago, last week actually, geez, it feels like it was so long ago. Last week, there was a player who is a repeat offender, okay? He's done a lot of illegal things. A lot. He's been suspended in the past. So the Toronto Maple Leafs captain, Austin Matthews, was sitting in the middle of the ice, skating towards the net, and this player comes at him. This player that has been suspended multiple times before in the past, who's a very rugged, rough player who's always getting himself into trouble, sticks out his knee. Sup, OCD man? That could not be me. I know you're not talking about me. Hi, Poltak. How you doing? So a knee on knee in hockey is like the worst thing you can do. Okay, it's like one of the worst things you can do. Going knee on knee is like it could potentially ruin a player's career. And that's exactly what he did. He put out his knee, hit the Toronto Maple Leafs captain, and now he is out 12 weeks with basically a broken knee. Not literally, but basically he had to get knee repair surgery. What is it? That's a strong bone. Yeah, it wasn't actually a broken knee. It was like he like tore his MCL. It was like a grade 3 MCL sprain, tear or something. I don't know the actual terminology. But he's out 12 weeks and he had to get knee reconstruction surgery. he will probably never be the same player again. And the player that did it to him got a 5-game suspension. That's it, just 5 games. Ah, you're fine. 5 games. For probably ruining the rest of this other player's career. 5 games. It's a freaking joke. How you doing, Poltak? How you doing? Welcome to the Hockey Talk episode of Shiny Hunting. On another note, what else is wrong with hockey? There is the way that the playoffs work in hockey. Completely different than any other sports league in the world. So actually, this is actually a crazy topic to talk about. Right now, there's a team that is 12th in the NHL, not in a playoff spot. But because of how the playoffs work, a team that is in 21st place in the NHL is currently in the playoffs. The 12th place team is not in the playoffs. The 21st place team is in the playoffs. How crazy is that? That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Bro, don't get me started on hockey, man. You're not getting me off of it now. So I've I'll be honest, I've kind of stopped watching hockey this season. Because it just gets worse every time, man. Excuse me. Excuse me. It's hard to watch, bro. It's hard to watch. Wow. Yo, Poltak comes in, drops a message, and then just vamooses. He's still here. I know he's here. Is that because of regions? There's a hand. So I believe that specific scenario probably is. But that's not even the biggest complaint right now. The way that the playoff format works, okay? I'm going to try to explain this the best I can with just my hands. So this will be fun. So, you know, in like a bracket, let's say 16 teams make the playoffs. So they have a bracket where number 8 plays number 1. Team 2 plays number 7. Team 3 plays number 6. And then 4 plays 5. Right? That's how a typical bracket works. The better you do in a regular season, the worse team that you play against. Whew, it just makes sense. The way the NHL works. Number 1 plays number 8. Number 2 plays number 3. So basically, either the second place team or the third place team throughout the entire regular season gets taken out in the first round of the playoffs. Like, it's just, it's absurd, bro. It's absolutely absurd. That's how they've always done it? Nope. Nope. They changed to it like 10 years ago. They changed to that. They changed to that by choice. They made a decision. They made a decision to change it to that. And now teams are just getting boned. Like, it's so hard to watch, man. So hard to watch. It happened to the Leafs for years. For years it happened to the Leafs. Where the Leafs would do the second best in their division, and they just kept having to play the third best team, and they kept losing because they were ass. Don't get me started on that, but they kept losing, and every year the NHL was like, yeah, you guys only care because it's the Leafs. That's the only reason why you care. You wouldn't care if this was a different team. You only care because this is the Leafs. And then now it's happening to other teams. And the NHL is very quiet that other teams are now complaining about it. Punished for doing good. Sounds like late stage capitalism to me. Josh, and that's literally it, because the NHL had to put out a statement last week because of how annoyed some teams are. And their statement was, yeah, but we have the best first round in sports. 2 of the best teams are going up together against each other in the first round. How can you complain about that? That was what they said. And you know what that says to me? That says to me, we're making a whole lot of money here, guys. Shut up. We're making lots of money. Zip it. Who cares about anything else? We're making money. So now, like, there's no Cinderella story because there's never a bad team playing a good team. And if it is, the bad team just gets their butt kicked. Like, it's yeah, man, it's just dumb. It's just dumb. Late stage capitalism is the best way to put it. It's the best way to put it. And don't even get me started on how you can watch hockey nowadays. So we used to have this app. It was called Game Center Live. And you could watch. If you paid monthly for this app, the subscription that was like $15 a month, right? Same as Netflix was back then. You not only could you stream any hockey game, you had access to every single camera that the production crew had access to. You wanted to watch the hockey game from the net cam? You know, the camera that's behind the goalie? You could watch the game from that camera. You could watch a game that happened 3 weeks ago. You could just say, you know what? I feel like watching that game that I didn't get to watch 3 weeks ago. I'm just going to pull it up. You could watch it. No problem. When the game got posted, after it was live, the game would get posted without the commercials. They took the commercials out. They took the intermissions out. Now the app that they have is $40 a month. Now it's $40 a month. You can only watch the game live. You can only watch the game if it's being recorded or broadcasted by the specific company that you're watching. So I'll use the Leafs, for example. The Leafs have 50% of their games played with Rogers. They have 50% of their games played with TSN. So if I buy Sportsnet Plus a month, $40 a month, I only get to watch half of the games because TSN has the other half. I can only watch from one camera. It's glitchy as all sin. It's the worst app. It's honestly one of the worst apps I've ever used. If it's not live, you can't watch it. Anything that's come out live, you can only watch live. I believe for the day. You can watch anything that day, but as soon as it clicks over to the next day, you lose everything. Kind of crazy how much of a stream costs have gone up, but $40 a month is dude, it's crazy. But you know what the problem is that the NHL's broadcasting rights came up this year. Their contract was due, and the company that bought it was a cable company. Rogers is a cable company. So Rogers is like, oh, you guys don't like cable? You guys like streaming? We're going to make you pay for wanting to stream this. And that's what happened. And Josh, what you just said, time to go back to cable, that's what they want you to do. Because if you go back to cable, you're back with Rogers. Because Rogers is how you watch hockey. Why is this game not working? There we go. Yeah, man, it's rough stuff. It's very rough stuff that's happening. Color me surprised. Yeah, and you know what the tippy top worst part is that the way that the contract works is when the contract comes due, every company is allowed to interview, work their magic, whatever they got to do to get the rights to said broadcasting rights. You know, you put your pitch out, like, this is what we're going to do for the NHL to make it grow. But Rogers, they worked it into their contract because Rogers was the contract holder last time as well. They worked it in that when the contract came up, we get 6 months of negotiating rights before anybody else is allowed. So the NHL didn't even let that 6 months expire. They just signed a contract with them before any other company got to even put out an option, which is just embarrassing. Like, Amazon was going to buy the rights. So Amazon currently has a Monday night hockey game. And every Monday, Amazon puts on a hockey game on Amazon Prime. And it is always very good. The way that Amazon does their broadcasts is it's really good. And the NHL didn't even talk to Amazon about the broadcasting rights. They just signed a 10-year contract, broadcasting contract with a company that just all they care about is friggin' money, dude. Not that Amazon doesn't, but like, they actually look like they give a about what the hockey game looks like. What the Orange Man Stranglehold even is. Dude, it's unfortunate, right? Like, and the worst part is that if I just didn't get so in depth with the things that I love, then I would never even know any of this. But because I cared so much about hockey, now I know all of this stuff that I do not need to know. But now I hate hockey because I know all this. And it's unfortunate. I wish I didn't know any of this because then I wouldn't care. And I might even have just paid the $40 a month because I just love hockey so much. But now I hate hockey because of what's happening in hockey. And it's really unfortunate. Same with Pokemon, right? It seemed like with ZA, all they cared about was putting out a game because they gotta hit their quota. Super unfortunate. It's the best way to put it, man. I just want a shiny. Man, we just went on a good old rant, huh? The good old hockey game ain't looking like the good old days. Make hockey great again, am I right? Holy, that game is always so far behind me. Make hockey great again. So yeah, this year I actually stopped watching hockey for the first time in a long time. It's the first year I said, you know what, I'm not watching hockey anymore. And it actually doesn't even have to do with a lot of the things I just mentioned. The Leafs are just ass. And the things that they do are even worse. They're even worse, brother. They oh my goodness. So now I'm gonna get on a Leafs rant, okay? So the Leafs, at one point, they redid everything from the ground up, okay? They hired somebody that worked at the NHL. They brought him in as their new manager. And they said, please fix us. We are broken. Please. And then, as the general... So this was... No, sorry. This wasn't the manager. This was the person... The manager in charge of hockey operations. That's not... The president of hockey operations. That's who they hired him as that. And they said, please fix us, sir. We're broken. We need help. And he said, don't worry. I got you. So then they hire a coach. And this coach, man, he is one of the best. He's one of the best coaches in the history of hockey coaches. And it's unbelievable. People are over the moon that they got him. They can't believe that they got him. And then they get a general manager that's been in the league since before either of us were even thought of being put into this world. Like, he came in and he ripped the team apart. Everything's gone on picture day. Okay, this is one of the craziest stories. On picture day, right? These 10 guys all get their pictures taken in their gear. They're getting ready for the season to start. Oh, sorry, we just traded 7 of you. All 7 of you just got traded in one big trade. Like, the whole team just got redone. So these 3 guys basically build the whole team from ground up. They start hiring these like brilliant minds, these new minds. They hired a 30-year-old, which in the NHL, you're basically like a 2-year-old, right? In the NHL, right now there's a coach in the NHL that's 80 years old. Okay, like you have to be an old man to work in the NHL, basically. So the Leafs hired this genius young kid. It's unbelievable. It's never been done before. And then things start cracking a little bit. So the general manager, he eventually, they say, you know what, we're not going to bring you back. Which I think, in and of itself, is a smart decision. But they chose the worst possible time to do it. Okay? The Leafs have their 3 biggest players they've ever had, okay? These 3 players, they have only played, like, let's say 3 seasons in the NHL. Okay? They've now already are in the top 100 of Leafs to ever play in the NHL. They've only been playing 3 seasons. The Leafs have been around for 100 years. 100. These players played in the 100th season that the Leafs were a team. And they've already cracked the top 100 for best ever Toronto Maple Leafs. Like they're unbelievable players. It's some of the best to ever play the game. When they fired the manager, the general manager, they brought the young kid and they said, "It's your time to shine, kid. You're in charge now." The same year that all of these players' contracts were due. The first negotiations he ever had to do were with some of the best players in the history of hockey. So he oversigned all of them. He oversigned all of them by so much money. The year before, they were asking for $8 million. He signs them to $12 million because the agents of these players are like, "Oh, young blood, we know how to mess with you, kid." And they just took advantage of a young guy that didn't know how to negotiate. And because they all took so much money, the NHL works with a salary cap where your team is only allowed to spend X amount of dollars a year, right? As soon as you hit this much money, you're not allowed to spend any more. The team that you put on the ice is only allowed to be worth this much money. So because they gave 4 players 50%. 4 players. Just to make you understand, there's 20 players on an NHL team. 4 players took up 50% of their money. And it all went downhill from that day. You know, they made the playoffs so many years in a row. And now that young kid got fired for a decision that he didn't really make. The president of hockey operations made this decision. And now the Leafs, it's their first, what is a salary cap now? So a salary cap is you're only allowed to spend X amount of dollars on your team, right? It's to make it so, because like, let's put it this way. Yeah, dude, he and it's not fair, right? Like, he ended up getting fired because of this other guy's decisions. And then this other guy hired a new GM who built a new team the worst way possible. He traded away all of the young players that were up and coming. And now guess what? 3 of those young players are now some of the best players on different teams. Like, I know what it is, but money. Oh, I don't actually know. Like, I believe, Alex, when he signed those contracts, it was like 80 million. And those 4 players were making a combined 40 million. Those 4 players combined were making 40 million. So they were making $10 million each, and the salary cap was 80 million. Like, how can you build a team when 4 players are making 50% of the money? And then COVID happened. So for the first time in like 30 years, the money stopped. So the cap didn't go up like it was supposed to. The cap stayed the same for 3 years straight. So these players' contracts that usually, like if you sign an 8-year contract, right? Let's say you sign an 8-year contract. On like year number 5, that contract is going to look pretty good because you signed it 5 years ago, and now the salary cap has gone up so much that it looks like you signed like a sweetheart deal. But these players, their contracts never got good because the salary cap got paused because of COVID. So it was like a thing on top of a thing on top of a thing on top of a thing, and and then one of the players, he just could not perform in the playoffs. Like he just couldn't get it done. He was from Toronto, so it's almost like he could feel that pressure of like, I love this team. It's my team, and I'm the one losing. And it's like he could feel that pressure. He can never get it done. So fans were showing up at his house and dumping garbage on his lawn. They were burning jerseys and then throwing them on his lawn. He left the team. Literally one of the, I believe he's like top 10 players in Toronto Maple Leafs history, just left the team. They didn't even get to trade him. He just said, I'm done. And he left. Leafs getting absolutely stomped on. Can't say much. Oh, bro, the Canucks are even worse. I honestly, if you're a Canucks fan, I feel bad for you because what's happened in Toronto is nothing compared to what happened in Vancouver. It's just it's a disgusting mess. But the Canucks have always been that way, right? Like they just trade away players that they don't have any reason to trade away, and they've always been like that. Like the year they traded Luongo, the Canucks had 2 really good goalies, and they had to make a decision. Like, we have to get rid of one of them. Which one's it going to be? You know what? Trade both of them, and they traded both of them. Huh? What? That makes no sense. And then they name a player their captain, Bo Horvat. Great decision. He's an unbelievable player. Trade him away. They traded him away. Right after the season after they name him captain. You know what? Then they bring in JT Miller. You know what? JT Miller is going to fix us. That guy's a... and then he bullies his teammates, and then his teammates want to leave. And then all of the Canucks... And then Brock Besser, he signs an 8-year contract or whatever, 7-year contract, whatever he signs. And then everybody that he wanted to be there with is gone. That poor soul, dude. It's just... Yeah, I feel for the Canucks, man. Elias Pettersson gets a massive boatload of money, 11.6 million, something like that. And then he decides, you know what? I don't know how to play hockey anymore. Have you guys ever heard the Patrik Laine story? Because this is crazy and you're going to love it. So Patrik Laine was looking to be like the next Alexander Ovechkin. Like it was like, holy crap, this guy, the way that he shoots the puck, no matter where he is on the ice, he's going to score a goal. The way that he can shoot the puck is just magical. It's like a missile. He got addicted to Fortnite. He got so addicted to Fortnite that he stopped practicing hockey. And now he got drafted in 2016, I believe. Since then, this year, so 10 years, he's been in the NHL 10 years, and he is bottom of the bottom players. Like, he's just there because he's there. Dude, he got addicted to Fortnite. You got to look up his story, man. It's crazy. That's obscene, dude. And it's true. It's like, and you know what? I can understand how something like that happens, okay? And let me break it down for you, because I Fortnite ruining lives. Dude, it's so true. Poltak, also, the fact that you're here listening to this, I commend you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So, imagine, right? You're a kid, fresh out of high school, okay? This guy was from Finland. Imagine you're fresh out of high school. You are predicted to go in the top 3 of the NHL draft. People are looking at you being like, this guy, he is going to be the future of our hockey team. This kid, he is the best hockey player we've seen in forever. I'm playing Wild Whiff or listening to Ferala Radio. Let's go, dude. And it's like imagine you're a kid, right? 18 years old, and that's how people are talking about you. And then you make the NHL and you do it. You are scoring left, right, and center. You are one of the best players on your team. And you're getting paid millions of dollars. You leave, right? Like you leave your country, you go to a whole new country, which means like, you know, his family probably didn't come with him. He's all by himself. You know, what would any teenager do in that position, right? You're rich. You're richer than you ever thought you'd be rich, or you maybe thought it, right? But like you're richer than you ever thought you'd be. And all of a sudden you can just do whatever you want. You have free will. Your whole life you've been told what to do. All of a sudden you're living by yourself because you're rich. All of a sudden there's nobody telling you what to do because you moved to a different country. Well, and see, that's the thing, right? Like video games and drugs, you could end up in the same place because of them. Obviously, that's a very broad statement to make, but like video games could ruin your life, and they literally have ruined this guy's life. Straight up. He could have, like, he's made $50 million in the last 10 years. He could have made, if you told me in 2016 that he made $100 million by this point, it would have been like, yeah, well, obviously. And instead, he's like basically like ready to retire. Some say video games are Gergs. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, I can understand being addicted to something. I can understand that. Also, I hate that you can't see these binders. That's so upsetting. Bro, I picked like the worst color possible for camera. We'll get this fixed though. I'm working on lighting. I think lighting's one of the next things that I would like to work on here. Also, everybody, RAM is going absurdly crazy right now. I was going to buy RAM about a month ago for $300 and I decided against it. I'm like, wow, that's too expensive. That's too expensive. Blah, 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 whatever. Now that's the package that I was looking at is $600. So I found a website that still hadn't updated their prices, and I found one that was $400. So I got my RAM. I'll be installing it next week, I think. So that's fun. So my computer can run even better, even though it has literally no issues. Oh, we back on RAM talk. I say we talk about IVs. They're bloody nasty. Dude, it's unbelievable what has happened with computer stuff, hey? Like, it's just crazy. I wish that I built my computer back when I wanted to build my computer properly. But no, I was a silly willy, and I decided to buy a pre-built and just use that and never upgrade a single part, and then get stuck at a point where I have to upgrade my computer, and guess what? Everything's super expensive. Because I can't stream on my MacBook anymore because I'm pushing my MacBook too much. With Bathroom Renos, what's your next week's streams? Okay, so Josh, you and I talked last week about going back to Nuzlocke. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think that I'm going to stick it out with the things I know for the next couple weeks, unfortunately. Let's not I might look into Nuzlocke. The problem is that all of my Nuzlocking stuff is on my MacBook, and it's not easy to just transfer it over. Like I have to restart. I have to re-download everything. It would take me like 2 hours probably to get it set up. So if I have 2 hours sometime coming up, I remember, I will get the Nuzlocking started on this computer, and if I can, then we will Nuzlocke. I promise you that. If not, see, but the EV hunt is something new, right? I don't know how to do that. I've never done it before. So I don't know if that's what I want to do. It's not the easiest path of entry though. Like, just because I have the ability to stream it doesn't mean that it's easy. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to have to watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos to learn how to do that. And I don't have that kind of time right now. So I'm thinking either Pokopia. I've thought about Pokerogue. We can still shiny hunt. I've thought, and then I'm debating getting the Nuzlocke back. I might get the Nuzlocke back. That being said, I want to stick with what I know for the next coming weeks because I am going to be extremely busy. Because we're not doing the bathroom renos like you might think. I've hired the people that I need to hire, and everything else I'm doing myself. Like I have somebody coming in, watching someone learn how to RNG. Well, yeah, you know what? That's definitely a possibility, Josh. That's definitely a possibility. We might do that. Maybe I'll look into that as well. But I have somebody coming in to remove the asbestos because asbestos bad, and I don't want to mess with asbestos. No, thank you. I'm okay. So I have somebody coming in to do the asbestos. And then I have somebody coming in to do the structural stuff because we've had water leaks for who knows how long, right? This house was built in the 1960s. It's 2026, which means this house has been here for 60 years. Who knows how long there's been a water leak in this house? I don't know, but there's been a water leak. It started at some point. So when we take out the asbestos, who knows what's going to be hidden behind the walls? So we have somebody coming in. First things first, asbestos. Second things second, structure. Third, we have the electrician coming in. And then fourth, I'm going to rebuild the bathroom from there with the help of the guy that's doing the structure. He's going to help me because I don't know what I'm doing. So he's going to come in and he's going to show me what to do. And then once I get moving, then he'll leave and maybe come back a couple days later. I'll be like, and when I'm done, I'll be like, hey, I'm done. Come back. And he'll come back and we'll figure out the next thing that needs to be done. And that way I don't need to pay him like a crazy amount of money. I'll just pay him for like the couple hours that he's helping me. So all of my spare time is going to bathroom. And then hopefully I can come down and stream a little bit after. I've already watched you rage at Pokemon. Then no, I'm not. Nope. Block your path. Now it's time to see you freak out at timers buttons. Oh, bro, I thought I got halfway through that message and I just assumed what you were saying. I thought you were going to say, now we want to see you rage at fixing your bathroom. And I was like, absolutely not. I'm going to like crunch my finger with a hammer and I'm going to swear. And it's not pretty. It's not going to be pretty. That would never happen. Yes, I do think that would be fun, Josh. The only thing about that is that requires a couple things. That requires, oh, you know what? It does require a rework of a layout, which isn't just a snap of your fingers, right? Like that is work that needs to be done. It's not easy to just have a new layout ready because right now on this computer, maybe what is this? I might have a way to do it, actually. right? My worry is that I don't have a way to show my monitor, but I do, because this is how I played Pokerogue, and Pokerogue was on a monitor. So actually, you know what? I might be able to make that work. I might be able to make that work, because I think that's a great idea. So here's my concern, right? One of my goals when I started this YouTube channel, which is crazy to say, but it's the truth, and I'm going to be open with you guys. One of my goals when I started YouTube this time around was I wanted to have a partnership with Pokemon, and that was one of the goals I had. One of my goals is to get a partnership with Pokemon so that I can get free swag, because that's literally the dream, bro. You get sent free stuff from Pokemon, like, I mean, come on. But if I RNG manip, then it's never gonna happen. It'll never happen, because they see that as evil, and like that, and then it throws that whole goal, just like, that would basically be me giving up on my goal, is the best way to put it. So that's where I'm struggling with making that decision, because I want to, bro, if I could get to a point where I could be, that is why, by the way, my channel's family friendly, is because they only choose family friendly. How many YouTube folks got Pokemon? A lot. So, there was a YouTuber. He was a Pokemon card YouTuber, and he was a lawyer, and then he quit being a lawyer because of how well his YouTube channel was doing. He actually, one of his investments that he made was he invested in the company that I believe is Mr. Beast's lawyer company. So like he bro made it as a lawyer, and then he made it as a YouTuber, like super crazy story. Because he was a lawyer, he knew what to do with things. So he reached out to the Pokemon company and said, hey, like, you guys have this amazing opportunity to just get free advertising, because your community just loves you, right? The community loves the Pokemon games. They love the Pokemon cards. They love this, and this. And there's always going to be, no matter how hard people hate anything, there's always going to be one YouTuber out there that just loves it. So when he reached out with this idea, and the Pokemon company, they're like, dude, genius. And they started reaching out to a bunch of different YouTubers, and the rest was history, bro. So if you go around now and you look on YouTube hard enough, every single big YouTuber that you see is not even big, right? Some of them just have 100,000 subscribers. Some of them don't even have 100,000 subscribers. They're like, oh, Pokemon sent me this. Unboxing a box Pokemon sent me. One of the things, it was during COVID, and literally that's when I started my YouTube channel back up again. It was the 25th anniversary. Not worth giving up your dream just for an idea, but that's the thing, dude. It's like, how long do I want to sit here and do exactly this? I don't know. And like, I can always just delete the streams if it ever actually gets to that point, right? So it's like, that's neither here nor there right now, but one of the things that people got sent, and let me see if I can actually, it's not important. So the 25th anniversary was an extremely cool Pokemon card set. It was called Celebrations, and what they did was I have the set. Let me show you. This is the problem with the same colored binders, is every freaking binder is the same color. I gotta open it up to see which one I'm opening. It's gotta be this one. Yes. Okay, so the cool thing that they did with Pokemon Celebrations is they reprinted some of the most popular cards from the history of Pokemon. So you got your original Charizard, your original Blastoise, your original Venusaur, Shining Magikarp, the first ever shiny Pokemon, Birthday Pikachu, one of the most sought after cards ever made, Gold Star Umbreon, one of the most expensive Pokemon cards ever made. This Pikachu is literally gold. Not even joking. Listen to this. It is a gold medal Pokemon card, brother. Literally, straight up. Look at that shine on that bad boy. It's metal. Not only that, they got some of the most popular competitive Pokemon cards ever made. So like a lot of these are in the history books for like some of the greatest cards ever made in the actual trading card game. Then they also remade a lot of the cool classics. So Alex, this one will speak to you. Josh, I don't know how much you were into cards, but Alex, do you remember Delta Species? So Josh, when we were probably about like 8, 10 in that range, there was this card type called Delta Species where they changed the type of a Pokemon. So this Pokemon is normally a ghost type. When it's Delta Species, it turns to a water type. They remade old cards so into new cards. So this Pokemon is a Generation 8 Pokemon, but they gave it a thing that was only around in Generation 3. They did the same thing for Toxtricity. So this is really old. Light and Dark Pokemon. These are some of the older Pokemon cards, Gen 2, but they gave a Generation 8. Generation 8. This is a Generation 8 Pokemon with a Generation 2 card. So they remade old school Pokemon cards, but new Pokemon. Okay, remember the type. Evidently not that Pokemon. Yes, the Pokemon's fine. They also remade a Dark Pokemon, but with a new school art. So this is a Dark Sylveon, but it's a V card. So it's like a new school card, but they added the Dark typing. So this is like one of the coolest sets they've ever done. Evidently, I bought one of every box they have, dude. And if I sold those cards, I would make so much money. Those boxes, I'd make so much money. But I'm saving them for a better day. They also did a McDonald's set. Ignore this one, please. Where they released every single starter ever made. They released it in a regular card and a holo version. So these pages are like matching. Here's a better view, right? So one side is non-holo, the other side is holo, but they're the same cards. Super cool. Like they did, yeah, dude, the fact that they made V cards is actually hilarious, and it's really strange. They remade the original Pikachu as a full art card. Remember that? The original Pikachu, but they made it as a full art. This card, by the way, it's like a $10 card now. I have like 30 of them. It's so crazy. So, all that being said, you guys heard how much I just talked and clearly love this set. They made 25 cards, these guys, 25 cards that were reprints from the original card game, right? The Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, Umbreon, Pikachu, Magikarp, not that Pikachu, not Greninja, and then all of these. 25 cards total. Pokemon sent trainers, or YouTubers, trainers, that's crazy. Pokemon sent YouTubers a plaque, a double-sided acrylic plaque with all 25 cards in the middle, all perfectly in a hangable acrylic case, and at the bottom, it said, happy 25-year anniversary, and then their YouTube name. Brother, I watched that video, and I was like, I will do anything to be one of those YouTubers that gets that, because that is the coolest collectible I've ever seen in my entire friggin' life. I'd rather that over a YouTube plaque any day of the week. It was the coolest thing ever. The coolest friggin' thing ever. Yeah, well, technically, like, anybody that plays Pokemon is a Pokemon trainer. Like, if you're in a VGC tournament, everybody's considered a trainer. If you're in a TCG tournament, you're considered a trainer. Trainers just slipped out, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I meant to just say YouTubers. That is an insane flex. Yeah, dude. And I'll look it up right now. You're gonna lose YouTube. You're gonna lose YouTube chat for like 1 second here. Where is it? Why am I not seeing this anywhere? Huh. It's not as easy to find as it used to be. That's weird. Oh, here. Oh, this is perfect. This is a short. There, I put it in chat. You guys check that out. Because you dreamed it all up? Yeah, okay. Okay, buddy, okay. It's just because it's the way YouTube's freaking algorithm works nowadays, bro. It's like you search up what you want, but it shows you what the algorithm is pumping right now. It doesn't show you what you want. It shows you what's being pumped right now. It's a little frustrating, but yeah, just watch that little short there, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's the coolest thing ever. And like, not only that, but people that promote Pokemon for free, they get invited places. Like if you want to go to Pokemon Worlds, they're like, hey, you do stuff for us. You can, it's on us. Just make a video saying that we invited you. Way better than YouTube plaque, brother. I'm telling you. I would sell my kidney for one of those things. But who knows if they'll ever even do something like that again, right? Like, but either way, like either way, I have to get to that point, right? I have to get there. And that's why I'm scared to do anything silly. The other problem with that is that if you play a ROM hack, you're ineligible. If you like, there was a YouTuber, Shady Penguin, one of the OG Pokemon YouTubers. He got offered a partnership, and they said, we'll give you a partnership. The only thing before we sign with you is you have to delete every video on your channel that's featuring a ROM hack. And he said, I can't do that. Like, those make me money, and why would I delete a series that my fans love? And then they said, oh, okay, well, sorry, then we can't do it. So it's like, that's why I like doing, that's literally the reason why when I started my Nuzlocke, I was playing on a physical cartridge of Fire Red, and I made a point. To always talk about it. Be like, oh guys, just so you know, I'm playing on an actual cartridge. That didn't last too long. So there's that. But like, that is why I was pushing that so hard. I'm not even gonna lie. Cause I wanted it to be out there. Like, no, I'm legitimately playing this game. Sad. It's sad. It's sad, man. I'll be right back though, guys. I'll be right back. Be right back. No, not me not unmuting my mic. Totally not. Shitty Penguin, a real one. Ain't that the truth? Okay, let's check out these Pokemon here that have just been sitting here for a little while now. On the nickname screen. Let's see, boys. How was that? How are those rants? We just got into, like... Bro, the amount of topics that we just covered in the last hour is actually insane. It's actually insane what we just talked about for, like, the last freaking hour. Bwam, 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 bwam. But that, all that being said, brother, what I would do for a YouTube Black too. So it's like which one do you go for, right? Like, do I just want to be a really good YouTuber, or do I want to be a good YouTuber that will never quite hit his full potential because I want to be on Pokemon's good side? You know, it's like it's a rough line that I'm trying to work. But you know. Very fine line. Yeah, man, it's right. Like, but I don't know. Like, I really do want to play ROM hacks on this channel. So it, like, what do you do, right? What do you do? And like, and that's the other thing too. It's like, I really want to play ROM hacks. I really want to be good with Pokemon, but it's like, what, even if I do make it as a YouTuber, what are the odds that I'll actually get accepted by Pokemon and like they'll find my channel and they'll be like, hey, we want you. We want you. I wouldn't say not your full potential. Got to put your energy elsewhere. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's just, I guess I just mean, Josh, like, there's so many different options out there of like ROM hacks or fan-made games or spin-off games or like all these cool things that I would not get to do because I'm trying to do this one thing. And like, but like, what are the odds of that one thing actually happening, right? So it's like, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? Let's see what Pokemon Champions brings, because I think I'll just put everything else down for a little while, and I'm just gonna play Champions, and I think that's just how it's gonna be. And the coolest thing. Oh my goodness, the coolest thing about Champions is that sometimes I might just hop on stream for like an hour and just say, guys, we're hitting a couple games. Let's do it. And I think that's going to be awesome. And I can't freaking wait. Champions will be the final frontier. That's right. And the coolest thing about Champions, like if I'm just playing that all the time, then I don't have to have these thoughts in the background. I don't have to be like, oh, I have a new layout I need to make. I have a new thumbnail I need to make. No. It's just Champions for now. That's it. And I think that's what I struggled with this last couple weeks, is that I did way too many things. Like, we went from Emerald Nuzlocke to Pokerogue to Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee double, which setting up a double stream was super hard because I've never set up a double stream before. That's not true. I have set up a double stream before, but it's not something I have set up, right? So I had to start from the ground up with that. It was just, and then we went to Pokerogue, Let's Go, Fire Red, and Pokopia, like all within 2 weeks. Hard to enjoy the waiting period, though, I'll be honest. Yeah, I think I just need to focus on one thing at a time, right? I think that's the best way to put it. I shouldn't be streaming 5 different series in the last 3 weeks. I think that's just a stupid decision. I think it's that simple. I think I have to, and it was such a hard change, right? Like, we went from the hardcore of hardcore Pokemon challenges to, hey, we're shiny hunting, guys. Hey, we're we're hunting for shinies. We're doing the most boring Pokemon thing that there is, right? Like, it was a huge change. And I mean, the views show, right? Like, I haven't had views this bad since my first month of streaming. Nuzzy to Animal Crossing. I'm not even thinking Animal Crossing, bro. I'm thinking of shiny hunting, right? Because there was the week of Pokerogue and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, right? That's how it went. But, and it shows big time. Like, I went, if you guys saw my numbers, like, it was like up, 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 up. I was thinking yeah, I mean, Pokopia 2, right? Pokopia 2, but the shiny hunting is what started it, and then Pokopia kind of... I thought Pokopia would kind of bring me back up because it's such a popular game, and there's so many different people watching it. Apparently not me streaming it, though. Maybe it was the thumbnail, I don't know. Maybe it was my energy, right? My energy wasn't the same as when we were streaming the Nuzlocke. Because it's a different thing, right? Like, I'm streaming a Nuzlocke, I can be on the edge of my seat all the time because all the battles are just insane. The audio yep, 100%, dude. The audio, totally. The audio was horrible. So I've learned some lessons, and you know what though, is that when I used to set up a new stream, or when I set up a new stream, because like with your streaming software, you can set up a stream and then hit record. And instead of streaming, you record it and then you watch back that recording and you make sure everything's in tip-top shape. And that's what I normally do. But because the weeks got so busy, right? Not only that, I also installed a whole new... I switched from a Mac to a PC in the middle of that too, guys. Like, switched from a Mac to a PC, then I switched to a dual monitor display, and then I moved the monitor from here to here, and I installed a whole new monitor arm. Like, it was so many things in 2 weeks. And the problem is trying to compete with everyone else also streaming. Well, that's true, right? Like, I don't want to compete with anybody else. Well, you're going to be competing with anybody else, but like, I can't see it as that. I got to see it as changes. Like, I'm always going to be competing with other streamers, right? It's as simple as that. No matter what I do, there's always going to be other people streaming. It's about coming out on top, right? It's about being a better streamer than them. It's about my layout looks better than their layout. My energy is better than their energy. And that was the thing with Nuzlocke to Pokopia, right? Like, I started saying it earlier, but I didn't get to finish. The Nuzlocke, we were all on the edge of our seats the whole time, especially with the Deathless Emerald. We were all on our seats, bro. And then we switched to Pokopia, and it's like, I'm just gonna punch this grass. Just gotta move this block here. Yeah. With regards to Pokopia specifically, it is true. Everybody and their mother was streaming Pokopia, right? So you do go to the bigger streamers. It does make sense. And then anybody that did come to me got met with freaking so yeah, competing to be the Pokemon master. So that's what I was trying to say, right? Is because I was so busy in those 2 weeks, I let my standards slip and I lost ground that I had made. And that's how that Pokopia audio slip up happened, was because I did not do my proper steps. No uncommon for smaller streamers going down in viewers when everyone else is streaming. That's it for sure. It is true. And who knows, like maybe when Champions comes out, yeah. Hit the right niche with Nuzzy. I totally did. It was unbelievable, man. Like the way that my streams changed from Legends ZA over to Emerald, it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Not even Emerald, Fire Red. when we started Fire Red, like it was. Remember the drop with tower defense? Yeah, and that was for sure. That also happened. Yeah, it was just, and that's the thing, right? Like it doesn't really matter because I'm still such a small channel that every single thing that happens now is all something that I get to learn for later on. Now I know, stick to the thing that you're good at. Stick to the one thing that people are really watching. Don't jump on a game just because it's the game. And, you know, like I've learned what streaming times are best for viewers. I've learned which streaming times are best for me. I've learned don't do 8 different things at the same time. You know, so I learned a whole lot of stuff throughout this process. So really, it sucks to see the views go down, but I also learned a whole lot of stuff. So it's like a win-lose kind of thing. And I'm gonna put in everything I've learned. I'm gonna put into effect with champions, and we'll see how that goes. Like you said, if you didn't stream Pokopia, you would have never got to play it at all. It's extremely true, man. It's extremely true. Yeah, it's just, but we're gonna get there. I'm literally going to will this into existence. I'm telling you guys that right now. I'm starting to have more ideas for videos again. I'm starting to put out shorts. Somewhat consistent. Unfortunately, they just ran out. I made like 10 last week and they just ran out last night, so I don't have any ready to go, but I'm starting to put out shorts. Man, why did I think that Bulbasaur was shiny? Holy crap. I'm glad I got to watch you rage and not having a sidewalk lined up with a Pokemon. Shut up. You will. You will it. I'll keep praying for your success, homie. Thanks, brother. Thanks, brother. Do what I can. Consistent, right? Be consistently good. Be consistently good. And that's, brother, I cannot overstress how I'm feeling about Pokopia. Honestly, I am so unbelievably excited for Pokopia, Pokemon Champions. Like it's really hard to actually explain it. That's the game that I'm really going hard on. So look forward to that, guys. They say that April is the release date. They haven't given a day, but they say April. And I really hope that is true. It should be. Why wouldn't it be, right? Doesn't make sense. But I'll tell you right now, I'm buying that pass. I'm buying the pass. I don't care what anybody says. I am buying the pass. And I'm going to play it every single day. I might even stream it after work. Especially, here's the nice thing too, right? If I can get it to line up with my work schedule, right? Like, if I can line it up properly with my work schedule changing, because my work schedule is going to be changing. Instead of working 4 days a week, I'm only going to be, instead of working 3 days a week, I'm going to be working 4 days a week. But instead of working 7 hours a day, I'm going to be working 4 hours a day. Significantly easier to do a stream after a 4-hour shift as compared to a 7-hour shift, right? Should have every reel advertise it. Yeah. Maybe that's what I'll do is maybe I'll post like, bro, I'm streaming just for Game Freak to delay champions. Imagine that. Well, this is the thing with that. This is the least gameplay we've ever seen with a Pokemon game that's coming out in a month. Like, realistically, we haven't seen much of champions whatsoever. However, the one bit of information that we do know is that Pokemon Champions is hosting a tournament right now. Because they announced it for some weird reason. And the only thing that says to me is that the people in Nintendo or Game Freak or whoever is doing this game, that tells me that they are working on something. That tells me that they are all testing the game right now, playing in this tournament. I that could be totally, utterly, completely wrong, but why else would they announce that there's a tournament taking place right now? You know what I'm saying? So they have to be doing their tests on the game right now, making sure everything's in tip-top shape, finding errors, finding bugs, finding you know what. And that's exciting. That's very exciting. The only thing I don't like about Champions is the microtransactions. Also, something that we've been talking about the past few weeks is my shorts views. Let me pull up my laptop. Alex, I know you've been following this very closely. Josh, I know you. Is that the thing in Houston? No. Houston was a VGC tournament. This is something completely different because then that would be on Champions, right? The Houston thing. This is an online ladder tournament. So we've been talking about my shorts views. Let me pull up the numbers and I'll read them to you guys. Huh? Shorts views. We've been talking about shorts views a lot. Let's sort it by views. So my best short, well, actually, my worst short that I've made on this channel has 218 views. My second worst short on this channel has 925. The second worst is 925. I'll take that. There's one that has 2,600. There's one, all of them average around 1,300, except for a few outliers. 2,600. One has 3,400, and then the best one, 9,000. 9,191. 9191 is our best short so far. So that's pretty cool. One of them getting 9,000 views. Hopefully, but again, like the only thing is that I don't currently have shorts ready. Hopefully the Champions will live auto crop short streaming nice for you. Yeah, you know what I should do? Pretty good, draws a lot of eyes. Yeah, you know what I might do is there is a setting I can use in my streaming software where I believe I can actually clip. Where if I have a Stream Deck, I believe there's a way where I can just press a button and the last 2 minutes of my stream will get turned into a video and saved on my computer. And if that's true, if I can figure out how to set that up, we're rolling with it. Because right now, to get a clip, I have to rewatch my entire stream. The only problem is though with Champions, like you typically want like a longer clip, right? Like that's the problem with Champions is that like you want to turn like one whole battle into one short. Maybe, I don't know. Imagine that was the reason for some of the recent subs. Yeah, exactly. I woke up one morning and I was like, oh, I have a bunch of YouTube comments. That means something got views. And I went on and I'm like, oh yeah, I got 10 subscribers overnight. So something got views and I checked and it was like 4,000 overnight. It's like, whoa, okay, cool, man. But it's always funny to know, like if I wake up, don't be rude. How's it going, man? I see you. Don't Be Rude is one of the people who always comments on my shorts, which is what we were talking about just now. Don't Be Rude. He always says, I see you every time. Yes, 10 plus subscribers. And it was basically all from that one short, which was funny. I see you too. Don't be long. Long time no see. Yeah, so it's just, I just got to keep doing it, right? Just keep doing the thing. And eventually it's going to work out. I just got to do it right. right? Because you do it wrong and people notice, right? Like with my videos, I got to a point where all of my videos were very good. And I was like, these videos are kicking ass, but I got to put out the next one. And then I put out the next one and the quality would go down because I rushed it out. And then people notice, right? If your quality goes down, people notice immediately. They're like, what am I watching? This is ass. It's just true. People notice, man. People notice. It's like 6:45 for me and I gotta go soon. It's all good, bro. It's 10:45 for me, PM, and I gotta go soon because I gotta wake up early and I gotta drive. I don't know what I said, Josh, but I'll take it. And truth is, there aren't many who make it big overnight. Dude, no, I don't think it's unfortunate, Alex. I think that there's no, if you do make it overnight, like actually, here's a freaking great example, okay? I was making very good videos, right? Very good, very good, very good, very good. They're all getting better. Every week it was getting better. And then I had one video do very well. So I put my nose to the grindstone and I worked as hard as I could to get another video out the next week. And guess what? That video did even better. It did incredible. My best video on my channel. Honestly, possibly how Don't Be Rude even found my channel. And then I'm like, okay, I got to do another one for next week. And I worked as hard as I freaking could. And again, the video did fantastic. And then the fourth week, I'm like, okay, I got to do it again. But it wasn't the same topic, different topic. It was a Pokemon box opening. And I worked so hard and I edited that video so good. And it was one of my worst videos. And that sucked. And then I just stopped trying. Because it was like, well, what's the point of putting effort in if they're not going to get views? And that's the worst way to look at it. The best way to look at it is every video I make has to be the best video I made. And if you don't do that, then you're never going to grow because you're going to have videos that just don't make it. I found your channel from the video where you ripped the reopened boxes from Walmart. Those are the 3 videos. I made 3 videos about that, and those are 3. I believe all 3 of those videos are in the top 5 of videos on my channel from views. Omar, one more, you can have 2 weeks of vacation. Let's go. More power to you, my man. Hopefully you have a restful vacation. Does suck to see how hard work goes unanswered. And that's the thing, right? Past Curtis knew that he worked as hard as he possibly could to make a video, and that video compared to the 3 before it fell through the ground. Did absolutely terrible. Not good. And that demoralized me. But I'll tell you right now that I have all these analytics from the whole last year, I can go back. But we appreciate this all. Thank you. I appreciate you. And I want to make videos again because I love making videos and I think my videos were very good. Don't know if I'd say best one yet, but definitely make every video be something you were happy about. I'll get more into that in a sec. Shoot, what was I saying? Shoot. I'll continue with what Alex just said. Something that I've read. Oh, yeah, the analytics. So looking back at my analytics, there's one video that I posted. At the time, it did all right. Like compared to my other videos, it was a good video. It was fine. It was good. It was a very average video at the time, above average. Like it wasn't my best video ever. It was above average. And I was like, okay, cool. It was a good video. Now that video, every single week, it gets more and more and more views. It's getting like 100 views a week. That one video, every single week, I check my YouTube analytics and it's in my top watch video of that week every single time. It's outperforming my shorts, not views wise, but watch hours wise. So you want to just, as long as you do the best video that you can do, just because it doesn't get videos the second it's posted, there's always potential for one day somebody watches the video and they like it. And then YouTube is like, hey, someone just watched that whole video start to finish. Maybe we should put it out again. And they put it out again. And with my video, that video is still picking up ground. And best one yet. So Alex, what I've done doing my research, one of the things that people suggest is make every video assuming you're showing it to a new person every time. Because every video you post has the potential of somebody new coming to your channel. So every single video you make, you want to assume it's the first video your fans are watching. Because if you make one bad video and that one bad video is seen by somebody new, then they're not going to like your channel because they watched that one bad video. Yes, we are shiny hunting all 3 starters right now. But that being said, should be at least push yourself. Got to work for that too. Just don't want to drain yourself dry. So here's the thing, right? Past Curtis was doing pretty good videos once a week. At a certain point, I realized once a week was not doable, even though I did it for like 6 months. I did a video a week and it was doable, but then I moved and it wasn't doable anymore. So I changed to 2 weeks. But then I had a video pop off and I was like, oh, I got to keep making videos every week. And I drained at that point. Yes, I drained myself. How I would like to move forward is don't set a schedule and just work on a video when I want to work on a video. And if in the future I do want to get to a video a week, it's because at that point I will have had success and I will hire an editor. And I will use the money that I'm making working my real job. I will use that money to pay an editor. And that way I can actually put a video out a week. Very fair. It's hard to keep raising that bar over and over again. Only thing I'm getting at, each video is taking more and more time. Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like if 100%, I agree, by the way. I absolutely agree. But when I say better, Alex, I just mean like one thing. Just change one thing. Learn a new edit that you didn't know before. Learn one way to adjust your audio that you didn't before. Learn one thumbnail technique that you didn't know last video. Like, I don't mean like significantly make that next video better. I mean, add one change to that video that's just a minor change. But guess what? It's better than the last one because of that minor change. Just do what is right for you. Exactly. So yes, all that being said, the plan moving forward with videos is that I'm going to make a video when I want to make a video, and I'm going to go from there. And that is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to know in the back of my head, like, hey, I'm making videos now. But I'm going to do it when I want to do it. And they're going to be good because of that. I also agree with don't be fair, and also agree with don't be rude. Guess that agrees with what I said earlier. Push yourself a bit. Yeah, exactly. Push yourself a bit, but just make sure every video is just a little better, right? Or make sure at the very least match your quality, right? Like, just don't go down. And that's my problem, is that when I get upset or like demoralized or whatever, my first thought is, well, I have to put out a video. I have to put out the next one. And like, you guys can, if you go back and actually look at the channel, and it would take time to actually do it, but if you actually went back and watched the videos, you would literally see the change in quality happen over like a 4 video span. Like, it's legitimately embarrassing if you watch those 4 videos. How far down the list is sifting through the Nuzlocke? We're getting to Fire Red. We're getting to Fire Red, Josh. We're close. We're closing in. I'm still in ZA territory, but Fire Red is it's right there. It's right there. I can smell it. It's that close. But again, just because I'm close doesn't mean a video's coming out anytime soon, right? Like, that's a lot of footage to watch. It's hours and hours of footage I have to watch. That's time I need to write a script. That's time I need to do a lot of stuff. So we'll see. I no promises. My thought actually, I feel like I've talked about this, but I don't think I actually have. I have over 2 years of videos that I've recorded that never got made. I kind of want to start at the bottom and work my way up and just start making and actually finishing those videos that got started. And I think that's how I want to start doing my videos, not with a brand new one. I'd be down to cut up, but I don't know if I... And that's the thing, right? Like, I actually had someone do that once, Josh. I think I got you to do that once as well. But I got Dan to do that, and I actually paid Dan to do it because Dan, when I was living near Dan, he was going through a really rough time with money, so I offered to help him, but I wanted him to help me, and he cut up like 30 videos for me, and then I didn't post a single one. Because for me, right now, or not right now, but back then, it was like, no, it is still right now. Like, I struggle with, if I don't start the project, it's really hard to pick up where somebody else left off, right? Like, I need to be the one to start the process so that I understand the work that I'm making. It's probably a flaw, but at the same time, it also helps me do better work. But bro, what I would do at some point to have like an actual team member that I could hire, that would be so cool. It's the thought process. Exactly, right? It's almost like building Pokopia, right? Like that, sure, I showed up on an island that was already island, but I basically started fresh and I built that whole thing from scratch, right? And I build something and then I'm like, I got to go back and fix that. And then I build something, I got to go back and fix that. And it's like, it slowly gets better. That's like you said, you actually talked about it. You're like, well, this is how you edit videos, isn't it? And you're not wrong, dude. Like, my best videos are the videos that I would do, and then I go back to the start, and then I do. Hello? What? What just happened? My phone just... What? Also, I just broke this freaking camera thing, dude. What the heck? Did it die? There's no way my phone died, right? I was gonna call it at 11 anyway, so like... This might be perfect timing. Let's see what happens. I just plugged it in. Yeah, let's do the final reset. Bro, I feel like I just reset that game without even checking the shiny too because the camera died. Oh my goodness. That could have been the shiny and I just did not notice. Wow, my phone did die. It's on 1% battery right now. Huh. No, my battery literally died. That's silly. Okay, let's check the top game first. Negative. Next one up. Negative. Oh, I can't play this handheld because the controller's turned on. Guys, that honestly, I could have just reset over Shiny and I had no freaking clue. No clue whatsoever. No freaking idea. But I think it's time. I talked about this earlier, but I am away this week, so there's going to be no streams this week. This is the only one that I can do this week. It's time to go spend like $5,000 on bathroom supplies. That's fun. Probably not that much, but it's going to be expensive no matter what. I'm not looking forward to it. Okay, well, yo, my beard's coming in pretty nicely, huh? Okay. Yeah, have a good day. Have a good night. I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, we're doing Nuzlocke. That'd be nice. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Josh and Alex, you've been here for quite a long time. Don't be rude. Thank you for stopping in. I do appreciate it.